Welcome to this free immigration help channel. Today is June 1st, 2023, and I wanted to make a very quick news update for everyone who is subscribed to this channel. Now, this particular news update will be applicable, and I would highly recommend watching if you are applying for asylum, if you're planning to apply in the near future for asylum, because there were some major changes, I think, in a very positive way whenever it comes to the asylum applications. Also for those who are participating in the DV lottery, DV program, diversity visa program, and of course the family immigration. There were some news that recently came out of the Department of State that might indicate that we can potentially expect some faster processing whenever it comes to the issuance of immigrant visas. So let's start with the asylum applications first. As you can see, I have USCIS.gov pulled up in front of me. This is the official government website for U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. This is where I get all of, most of the information that I provide in these videos on this channel. It's from USCIS and of course the Department of State. So let's start with the USCIS. I will show you how to find the news. You can find them right here at the very top. It's called Newsroom. We're gonna click on this, and then I always click on all USCIS news so that you don't miss anything. And usually they tell you about little things here and there, tools outage, for example. But yesterday we had some big news that came out regarding asylum, and the very first thing you will, when you read this news, if you want to read it, I will put the links in the description below, is that the title says that the address, the filing location changed. So make sure if you are filing the I-589 application for asylum and withholding of removal, if you're planning to file it physical, by mail, make sure to check the form I-589 page itself. You can find the link here. You probably know already. You can find the links in the videos that I provide right here in where to file. So the locations have been updated as of very recently. Not only that, the application itself has been recently updated as of, I believe, March, and it will say it somewhere right here, as of March 1st, 2023. So if you have, for example, been doing your research when you came, let's say you came to the United States back in, let's say, January, and you have been doing your research and you found the application that was as of earlier, because before the March update, March 1st, 2023, the application was actually current as of October 12th, 2022. So less than a year older, but still, as you can see here, it actually says that they will only accept that older application form up until July 31st. So if you do submit the older application after July 31st, they are not going to accept it. So make sure you always check whenever you're applying, if you are sending the physical form, the edition date right here. And right now it's showing the edition date March 1st, 2023. So if we click on the application itself in forms and documents right here, the form I-589, and I will end up doing another video, of course, on going through this application and filling out this application step by step as I was doing it before, with an updated application now. But you can find the edition date if you scroll down right here at the bottom left corner. It says edition March 1st, 2023. Of course, I would highly recommend, if you can, file this application online. Right now it is available to be filed online, and I would highly recommend doing it. It speeds up the process, it makes it much easier, prevents a lot of mistakes. So yes, a new addition for the asylum application, of course, the new address to file the application to. But I think the most important news about asylum applications is, and it's this line right here, which is at the very bottom. I don't know why they didn't make it like the main news, because I think this is the most important and the best news that came out about the asylum applications. So I'm going to read it. The second part right here. Effective immediately, when you submit Form I-589 physical by mail, you no longer need to submit a passport style photo, multiple copies of the form, or multiple copies of the supporting documentation. And that is, I'm even gonna say yes right here. Usually I don't do, but that is huge news. This is just Excellent news. Why? Because I cannot tell you how many cases I've seen being returned to people because they didn't provide enough copies of the application. How many questions on this channel I receive asking about the application package for asylum, asking, how many copies do I need to provide? Because, and every time I answer that question, I actually have to go to the instructions and read it really, really carefully and calculate how many copies you need to provide of the application, how many copies you need to provide of the initial evidence, because it was that ridiculous. It was pointless. The application package, if you're submitting for, yourself and let's say 2 or 3 beneficiaries, for example, your wife and your 2 kids, that's 4 people. So you have the main application, you have the copy of each application for each additional beneficiary, you have the initial evidence, you have the copies of the initial evidence for each additional beneficiary. So basically, you from an application package that is like half an inch thick, because there's a lot of evidence usually whenever you're sending the asylum application. There's a lot of evidence. There's a written statement. There's a few pages. The application is pretty long. With all of these copies, you end up with a book. So of course it is inconvenient for an applicant, and of course it is also inconvenient for the immigration officer who is reviewing these applications, because everybody is going to pack those evidence application copies differently. Somebody will put application on the top and then the evidence on the bottom. Somebody will put the evidence in between and then the written statement on the bottom. It's a mess. Every time an immigration officer opens up this application package, it's a mess. So by getting rid of all that stuff, it's really good news. So I think we will see some speeding up in the asylum application process in general. But I would definitely highly recommend, still, with all of that being said, I would definitely highly recommend filing it online. Alright, so that's as far as the asylum applications go. Let's move on now to the news that are coming out from the Department of State, because there are a few, and I will start with the most recent one from May 2023, just a couple days ago, for the Diversity Visa 2024. It's an update for people who are participating in the Diversity Visa, and that's basically green card lottery. That's what we're talking about when we're talking about the DV lottery, and that is referring to the DV 2024. So as of May 30th, 2023 now, the DS-260 became the only the only thing that you need to send to the Kentucky Consular Center, KCC. That's the only thing. You don't really need to provide anything else, any kind of initial evidence or any kind of documentation. Just the DS-260 for yourself and for the family members. That's it. And again, the less documents you need to provide, just like with the example in the asylum, the same situation, it makes stuff less. It's easier for the applicant, it's easier for the officer that is reviewing the application. So again, I think that is a great update that will impact positively all the people that are in the DV program that are waiting for the issuance of their immigration visa. And the very last update that I wanted to provide, it came out recently. It kind of wasn't anything special, but it came out as of May 19, 2023, so like 10 days ago, and titled Facilitating Travel and Safeguarding National Security, which doesn't really say a lot, but if I'm going to read it, and hopefully you will see why I think this is very, very important, and I'm hoping to see some reflections of this, what is happening behind the scenes in the visa bulletin that is showing us, obviously, the DV lottery and of course the employment base, but most importantly the family preference for the family reunification cases. So I'm going to read the whole thing and then we'll discuss it a little bit. So the Department of State is processing visas more efficiently than ever while upholding our national security responsibilities. We are continuously reducing the time required for administrative processing. They put it in quotes. A range of various additional steps that must be taken before a consular officer can complete a visa application, which can include additional national security vetting. We have recently adopted new technology and enhanced coordination to reduce the number of visa applications that require administrative processing on security grounds. while upholding strict national security protections. The Department of State coordinates with federal government partners through the National Vetting Center, which has dramatically reduced the number of visa applicants who wait for administrative processing. Since October 2022, most cases that would have previously required additional administrative processing were resolved immediately without additional time-consuming handling. National security is our top priority. Before issuing any visa, we ensure that every prospective traveler is subject to extensive security screening. Now we can do this in a much more streamlined manner. So, right out of the bat, yes, I'm gonna admit it's a little bit vague. All right, they're not really telling us exactly what they have done. They're not, but judging by the news that I have already, that's why I combined these three kind of major news, I would say, in the immigration field in one video, is because they are getting rid of unnecessary paperwork, unnecessary copies. They're making it easier for those who are reviewing the cases. They're making it easier for the applicants when they're applying. So we can kind of look at what they're doing with all the paperwork, streamlining the process and making it less bulky on the paperwork, and applying it seemingly in their visa issuance process as well. So they're not telling us exactly what kind of administrative processing that they are, getting rid of or reducing or making it easier, and how exactly they're doing it easier. But they are telling us that there is new technology right here that is involved, enhanced coordination, which suggests that, well, more stuff is happening online and less paperwork involved, which is definitely good news. Will we see the results of this? Hopefully. I really am hoping that we will see the results of this. This would definitely impact the family immigration, because most of the time that we wait for, whenever it comes to family reunification, we do wait for that administrative processing. It is administrative processing with USCIS, it is administrative processing with the NVC, and then administrative processing with the US Embassy that creates a lot of the delay. Yes, we do have to wait for the backlog, but again, the reason why we have that backlog accumulating is because people are waiting and waiting and waiting, and while they're waiting, new applications are coming in, and that creates the backlog. So, hopefully in the next few months, we will see some positive changes, and right now we are on June 2023 visa bulletin, July visa bulletin, July 2023, that it should be coming out in the next, I would say, 10-15 days max. We will see July 2023, and if you have been subscribed to the channel, you know that I do comparisons between the old one and the new ones, the previous new ones, just to see if it's moving along or not. But with these implemented changes, I am really hoping to see some positive updates on the July, and I would say August, giving it a couple months at least to see some of these changes reflect on the visa bulletin. So make sure to subscribe to this channel because as soon as it comes out, I will be making a video. As soon as there are anything new coming out in the immigration field, I will be making a video. And of course, if you have any questions along the way, as you can see, I always have your comments pulled up in front of me. This is what I'm going to be doing next. After finishing this video, I will be answering your questions. So if you do have any questions, just drop them in any of the videos. Make sure to provide the details of your case. Don't share any personal information, but do give me some priority dates, some categories, and I will be able to answer them. And in the video actually called Answering Your Comments and Common Immigration Questions, and they go by volume. Right now we are on volume 104. Today is going to be volume 105. So thank you very much for your time. I hope this news update was helpful to you. Make sure to start, especially if you do have the asylum. Looks like the biggest changes so far happening for asylum applicants, which is good changes, really good changes. And I will be making an updated video on how to fill out that I-589, where to file it, so far so forth, because the last time I've done it, it was definitely the older version. So again, thank you very much for watching. Appreciate your time. God bless, and I'll see you all in the next video.